11th Hour on Radio Sri Lanka, the program that illustrates the rediscovery of the glitz and the glam of the nation's most prominent entertainers and eminent personalities from the corporate sector. Join us
on every Mondays
at 11 a.m. exclusively on Radio Sri Lanka, 97.4 and 97.6 FM island-wide. It's yet another episode on 11th Hour. With the massive impact with regard to influencer marketing, which is certainly having a positive impact to ignite the stability of brands, are seriously navigating their marketing strategies. A shift in thinking has occurred in the corporate world by connecting prominent personalities to bring a sense of credibility to brands' offering. It's widely accepted that not every influencer surely doesn't understand how to extract the true potential and value. And that's exactly why we have invited Danu Innasithamby for 11th Hour to speak to us on the lines of eminence networking. A very good morning to you.
Good morning.
Pleasure is ours having you over here on 11th Hour, and I'm trying my best not to giggle. It has not been a difficult interview at all for me with the rest of the other guests, but today it's a challenge.
Thank you. I'm sure I'll try my level best too.
My very first question to you. It is a fascinating turn of events with influencers that we have been vividly seeing as a steep rise in the past few years in the social media platform. How do you see this opportunity to play a significant role?
I think influence marketing has been around for some time. I think it just didn't have a name to it. Even in terms of commercials, when we did have ambassadors taking over, that was because they were influential. How the whole social media growth happened, when I got into social media, I only got into it because there was a new platform and I had some good pictures. I wanted to put it up there. And when I initially started my segments, where they could be visiting restaurants or having little quirks with people, whatever it was, and my thinking was very simple. I wanted to do a short video, and I'm just trying to make it very PG friendly here. I wanted it to be very short so that whatever I'm doing, I could finish the video and leave without coming back to the video. And that was in 2013 when IGTV was not created, that is the video platform of Instagram, and when short videos on YouTube was not trending. A minimum video will be 25 to 30 minutes. Longer the better is what they thought. So when I did this, people were like, why is this video so short? And I was like, no, I don't want to come back to it. I never had a thinking behind it, but I'm so happy I did it at that time, because I'm going to say Instagram brought it after I did. But it was a lovely feeling.
Very could say it with confidence.
Yeah, so it was quite an interesting journey from there, and I'm so happy to see so many youngsters coming forward. It's an outlet to put out your creativity. And back in the days, if you have got into a job or a trade, very rarely you get a chance to portray your other talents. Here they act, they sing, they do everything, and their day job could be something very, very much in a box that requires them to be a certain way. So I'm so happy that everyone gets a chance to play on the creative field.
Certainly. The digital advertising tactic relies on popular social media users who have built a significant and engaged follower base by frequently posting text, pictures or videos to promote products and brands. Has our island nation really connected well enough for marketing with the influencers?
Yes and no, because I think when we're talking about all of Sri Lanka, we still have a long way to go. We do have people with mobile phones, and we do have a huge sector that's not having that facility in their hands. So the advantage of influencer marketing is it could be curated, it could be planned, it could be target oriented, it could also fall into the category of, I only want to speak to women, I only want to speak to men, I want to speak to people between 25 to 35. So you can narrow it down so precise that you're not spending too much and wasting your resources unnecessarily. So that way I will say social media has curated how your content is sent out so that, your product is reaching the right audience. And this is not the greatest thing for old school media like TV, radio, newspaper, because we have sort of crippled that.
True. But then again, do you see potential?
Definitely. I think this potential will, because if you do take the North, I've noticed something. So I've categorized, North is big on TikTok. Like I have gone back to Jaffna many a times, and they may not know my Sinhala shows or my English shows, and not even know my Tamil shows. But they definitely know me on TikTok, because TikTok is a fever in Jaffna. And it's amazing. I love the fact that they celebrate their dance moves and all their favorite Tamil actors. And I love it. And I've noticed whenever I use a Tamil song or if I do a Tamil skit, it trends the most in the northern area. So there's always this area-based type of programs that you could do.
So through that way, we can actually venture into different areas.
Definitely. And also considering the fact that every social media platform has a very different audience. Now, Facebook is literally like on a dead zone internationally. In Sri Lanka, in certain South Asian countries, it's still there. So we have an older generation on social media, on Facebook. Then you have Instagram. They are the trendsetters. They're the ones who want to express with a photograph. They have all the filters and the works. You have the TikTokers who are way much more younger, and also you have the older guys who are there trying to capture the market. But TikTok is the most fast-growing social media platform. Then you have YouTube. YouTube is a very commanding social media platform. It requires you to sit back and watch. So these are the different categories.
That's very true. And more specifically, many followers consider a sponsored post as a genuine recommendation of an influencer, increasing the credibility of the message. What are your perspectives with regard to the same?
Yes, if you believe in the product and if you believe in the brand that has asked you, then you go ahead and you do the promo. For example, I have a few boundaries I will never cross. Alcohol is a no-no. Anything to do with some things that do not fall into my principles. Even if the money is good, I'll never do it, because I feel like it breaks what I believe in.
Correct.
And I also believe, because I work in mainstream media, I have a sense of responsibility to what I project. So I think you also need to fall into the category of, okay, if you're going to promote it, it's going to have an impact. Even if it's just going to be one person, your impact has to be genuine, and it has to be something that you can live with. So, in terms of, there are creams and there are creams that are going to create illnesses, or that this could have a side effect, or I will never use it but I'm okay to promote it. That is no man's zone. Well, for me it's mostly food I get, so I'm just a lucky one.
So let's continue with that for the safer side.
Yes.
Moving on to my very last question. I'm sad that it's coming to an end, but then again, with the time constraint, the stunning popularity of this new marketing tactic is also reflected in a sharp increase in underlying mechanisms that can explain its effects. Please share your expertise in up-and-coming influencers.
Do you want names of them?
Maybe certain product ranges and brands that they work with, probably.
Okay, so in terms of the influence of reach out there right now is for products that are very short-lived on the shelves. For example, it could be a new kind of a software that has launched. It could be a new app that provides a different service that makes life easier from our stereotypical thinking. It could be even for products such as, like we might have used a coconut oil range in a way for so long, but they have made it interesting and they've made it so 2023 that you want to talk about that. So giving a new angle to it is what a lot of brands are looking into. And also it's a perfect way of doing business, I think. When you have to do a TV commercial, we're talking about millions here. And millions, that's going to take time, effort, sweat, and a lot of back and forth. Here, you're giving the creative freedom and giving them a guided script, which one allows you to precisely give the information. It's literally free, and you're paying 1/3 of what you might pay to make a commercial. So I think it's very planned and it's a great move. But as somebody who is from the old school media, I also feel really bad when I see brands not advertising, a strict no for anything on TV or radio or print, and they're like, let's just stick to the Instagrammers or the influencers. Then you're like left with like, it is a bit of a crippling thing. But I feel because we are Sri Lanka, we have such diversity, we have different styles of living, we have different ages, and we also have an older population. I think we need to tap all mediums in the right way so that we give any message across well. But I also feel social media has been used beautifully for some great causes.
Of course.
And like there are a lot of people who reach out to me for, it could be a lost dog, it could be something that they're collecting funds for. I personally do a project called Sri Lanka Smiles, where we have connected resources with people who have lacked that resource. It could be a laptop to finish their studies, it could be bus fee or
even
taxi
simple
fee.
matters.
Yeah. So if you don't have the luxury of giving that money, but you have the platform to connect the two, you're on a good path. And this, like, I am happy to say, like, we have been able to help this one girl who flew to India and stayed there for 3 months to save her from a cancer from her leg. We had another boy who went with leukemia, and we had to collect 10 million for him. It was all done in a matter of 72 hours. Because people know where it's going, they know the source, they could always call and check. You have his profile is open and active, he has friends, then they'll check with their friends. So you know the money that you're spending is going to the right person. So these are true stories, and I'm so happy that social media can connect and create this platform.
Just a ad hoc question. Is there certain brands that didn't really look at this possibility yet?
Yes. There are. They still believe in the old school type of advertising. What happens is if they do come into the market, into the social media space later, that space might have been dominated by someone. And then, for example, I can tell you, let's say a laundry business. There are some laundry companies that have been around for years, and we have gone there every time. But later on, there came an app that made life so much more easier. You do everything online, and they'll come and pick it up, and they'll take it back. I saw it on Instagram. I downloaded the app. Now I don't drive there at all. And this has stopped me from being a client. But if they had thought of that option immediately, I may have downloaded that app and not downloaded this app. So you sometimes need to be on the ball and in the game 24/7.
So true, and wish we can talk in length, but unfortunately. The source of fame is crucial while we try to explain the difference sandwiched between an ordinary individual and an influencer who could essentially master the techniques of this form of brand development, which requires an essence of true set of skills. Building an influencer strategy is certainly an art. So thank you very much for connecting with 11th Art today, Danu Innasithamby. And I take pride in saying the surname.
I know it's a tricky name.
And thank you so much for being on my show.
Oh, thank you. This has been an absolute pleasure. And thank you for bringing me down these corridors, brought back so many great memories. And thank you to everyone who is here as a team to help us do the show.
Thank you so much. And I'm Sabrina Zaveri signing off, and back to more music.